One of the most powerful features about the Apex is its great target separation, especially amongst iron-ridden places. We'll go through a couple of scenarios here and show you a couple of target tests and show you how you can really pick up coins and good targets amongst iron. We'll start with this iron nail test. This is a fairly common one that a lot of folks use. So we'll show you the setup here in a second and run through a couple of different scenarios. Okay, so we've got our iron nail test sheet on the ground here. We've actually hot glued the nails to this sheet of paper so they're not going to roll around when I'm scanning it if I accidentally bump one. Let's take a look at the settings here. I want to show you reactivity on the Apex. I've got this in relics mode, which means I've got some iron discrimination in play. And then on my settings, I'm factory sensitivity. I've got the volume all the way up. I've knocked the iron volume down to 3 so it's not so terribly loud as we go through this. And we're in multi-frequency. And then what I'm going to do is bring iron audio into play. So I've engaged iron audio. Okay, so to start with, we've got the iron audio on. Let's just listen to the nails on this board. That's clearly the sound of iron on the Apex there. That's your lowest tone. No target in play. So now what I'm going to do is I got my Indian head penny. I'm going to put it right there in the center in that first position. And let's go back over it. And what you're listening for is something above iron, a positive response. Maybe some masking going on, but you're listening for a good positive response. You can hear the iron going on in the background, but you can clearly pick out a good signal amongst all those irons there on this test board. So there you go. If I'm hunting in the iron like that, I've clearly got a good signal in amongst all that iron there, something above the iron tone range, because I can hear my iron audio with that suppressed iron volume in the background. But I know there's something good in amongst the iron that I would certainly dig and investigate. Let's go ahead and move this over to the other position, position 2 there, and go through it. This is a little more challenging here. I've clearly got a good target with that coin right up against the nail, and that's a big nail too. Now as I go around this nail, when you get in this scenario lengthwise with the nail, that's the toughest position for any detector to get it. But I would keep going around and investigate. And there I go, I've got a good target with that coin right up against that big nail. Again, let's remove it and let's listen to this. There's your nail, there's your iron sound. And when you introduce a good target amongst all that junk, here's what you can get. That's picking out a good target with the Apex, and it's great target separation right in the worst kind of nail bed there. Here's a second target separation scenario with the Apex. In this case, I've got 3 nails on the ground. I've laid them out end to end like this. It's a test I've seen a lot of folks do. So let me just scan over it, and just for note, we're in the same setup we just did in that first test. I've got relics mode, I've got iron audio on, and factory sensitivity, multi-frequency, volume at 8 and iron volume at 3. So let's listen to the nails. Clear iron response when you're running with the iron audio there, so it identifies the trash there. So now what I want to do is introduce a few coins here. Okay, so we've listened to those 3 nails there, so let me come in. I'm going to put some coins in here in between them. You know, they're an inch at the most or so in between there. There's a nickel, there's an Indian head penny, a little bit higher conductor, and off the end of this guy I'll put a silver dime. Well, let's run back over it, and you want to listen for positive responses above the iron sound. As I slow it down, you can hear all 3 coin responses. A little more challenging, but there's clearly 3 responses there. I'll actually turn off the iron audio now. Let's go back over it and listen to it. Now you're just hearing the coin responses. And if I was to remove these coins real quick and go back over it with the iron audio off, these are silenced. We've got the iron to scrum at about 35 here, so that knocks out what's going on with those iron nails. So if you were hunting without iron audio, you would be listening for the higher responses among the trash. Now if I go back and put my coins back in, listen to it again, there's the nickel, there's the penny, there's the dime, iron audio off. I'm getting the 3 coin responses clearly right there amongst the trash without iron audio. Those that prefer to have it on, you're listening for those little pops right above the iron sound. So there's a couple different test scenarios in iron beds, the iron board test, and then this laying iron nails in a row with coin targets in between it. Clearly you can see the demonstration here of how effective the Apex is on separating targets amongst the trash.